Let's talk about MCT oil. So this is probably the most vital supplement that I take. I consider it the most important supplement. I have all my clients do it. A lot of people, though, I'm realizing don't really understand why. They don't understand the mechanisms of what makes it beneficial. And some people think you can get all the benefits from coconut oil. So that's definitely not the case. So I just wanted to go in depth a little bit about MCT oil and its benefits. So first of all, MCTs are an extract of either palm or coconut oil. And we preferably want the source from coconut oil. It's a little easier to digest in my experience. So most coconut oil is made up of anywhere between 40 to 60% MCTs typically. Okay, and MCT oil is a highly concentrated dosage of those MCTs. Now, there is a little bit of marketing involved, a little bit of a misnomer is that the 12 carbon chain lauric acid, that fatty acid does not really function the same as the other two medium chains, the 8 and 10 medium chain triglycerides, which would be your capric and your caprylic acids. Now, lauric acid is great. It has some really good benefits. You know, whenever it gets enzymatically broken down, it turns into the compound monolaurin, and that is a huge boost to your immune system. It really fights harmful pathogens. It's a really good thing. But it doesn't really give us the benefits that we're looking for when we're taking a concentrated dosage of MCTs. So you don't want to think you're getting the benefits of MCTs when you're taking in coconut oil, because in reality, we're really only focused on the 8 and 10 carbon chain fatty acids. So you might see something that says 40 to 60% MCTs, and when in reality, maybe 5 to 15% of that is of the 8 and 10 carbon chain fatty acids, and the rest of it are the 12 carbon chain, which would be, like I said, the lauric acid. So we don't want that. Well, again, like I said, it's got benefits, but we don't want that in our MCTs. We want concentrated 8 and 10. So use your coconut oil, use it to cook in. You can mix it a little bit in your coffee if you want some of the benefits from the lauric acid, but you're definitely going to benefit from taking a concentrated dosage of those 8 and 10 carbon chain fatty acids. So what's the difference? What's good about those? Now, the 12 carbon chain and higher, so lauric acid and all the ones that are long chain triglycerides, these get absorbed through your small intestine like most other things, and they can't freely diffuse into your bloodstream via the small intestine. They have to be packaged in a lipoprotein particle called a chylomicron. Now, this makes it go through your whole lymphatic system before it can hit your liver. And often it doesn't make it there. Usually it gets stored as adipose tissue, especially if you're not very fat adapted, and definitely if you have a lot of glucose floating in your blood. So MCTs, the 8 and 10 carbon chain, those are absorbed a little bit differently. Some of them actually get absorbed directly through your stomach. They actually make it to your bloodstream through your stomach, but the larger percentage of them go to your small intestine, like the other fatty acids. Now, the enzymatic process to break down the 8 and 10 carbon chains is a lot less demanding than it is to break down the 12 carbon chain and higher. Because of this, it's actually able to enter your bloodstream directly through your small intestinal wall, through a cell in the small intestinal wall. And now, the fact that it can hit your bloodstream right away means it's going to make it to that liver. It's going to go directly to the liver to be converted to ketone bodies. And these ketone bodies are in your blood. They're going to be free to be used much in the same way glucose will be for physical activities or for your brain. Your brain actually prefers ketone bodies to glucose. So if you have both available in your system, it'll opt for the ketone bodies. And you'll feel a lot more focus, a lot more energy than whenever you're running off of glucose. There is a lot of benefits to getting this MCTs in your bloodstream quickly. One is it's an immediately available source of energy. So if you're working out fasted and you have some MCTs pre-workout, you're going to be able to use that for a little bit of energy. It also is muscle sparing, the fact that it's readily available. If you are reaching the point of protein turnover and you have some MCTs in your system, some ketone bodies, you're going to use that for energy before you go to breaking down your lean muscle tissue. The biggest benefit, I think, is whenever your body is using MCTs for fuel, I think it's turning on kind of those fat-burning genes, those fat-burning mechanisms that are needed to burn your body fat. Because the process is very similar. The mechanisms are very similar when you're using dietary fat for fuel or when you're using free fatty acids from your adipose tissue. It's very similar in the fact that that the MCT is able to be converted to ketones so readily, it gets your body efficient at doing that. It gets you through that fat adaptation period quicker, in my opinion. I've noticed with clients that use MCT oil regularly, couple days, they're fat adapted. Ones that don't, it might take a week or 10 days. So I really think there's a lot of benefits that aren't really completely understood to MCT oil that you kind of have to go off of experience and things that I've seen and things that I've felt myself. So please don't think that you're getting all the benefits from concentrated MCTs through the coconut oil, because you're not. Like I said, there's tons of benefits from getting the MCTs directly. It's going to give you more energy. You're going to be able. They've done animal studies that show exogenous ketones supplements help athletes perform a lot better, and they've shown it in the animal tests that it keeps them going, keeps them more energized, and they're able to have a lot more output. Any other big benefits from MCTs? Like I said, the biggest thing is it allows you metabolic flexibility and the ability to become fat adapted faster. And also, like I said, it gives you such a great feeling. You know, you're thinking so fast, you feel so energized, and you're not hungry. It gives you a lot of satiety. It allows you to go longer in your fast. You know, I always use MCT oil during my fast once I'm getting really lean. If I'm not super lean, if I'm like 12%, I can probably do without it. But it's really helpful, especially once you get lean, or especially for women and you're trying to fast. It helps you make it a little bit longer and you're still burning fat for fuel. It allows you to push that window a little bit longer before you start breaking down lean muscle, in my opinion. So that's all I can think of off the top of my head about some of the benefits of MCTs. Super essential. I recommend everybody, regardless of your goal, use a little bit, because your brain will thank you for it. But especially if you're trying to lose weight, and especially if you're trying to do low carb or intermittent fasting, start using some MCT oil. Okay? All right. Thanks.